Good morning, my Teaserking family. How's everybody today? We got some playoff games to review and understand and look at. Let's check the lines. So let's go to the lines. Vegas Insider. That's where I get a look at all the casinos. Tennessee. They're playing games. It was 4 now to 3.5. Over under 47.5. That really hasn't moved. Green Bay 5.5, 47.5. My guess is that Nick Bosa is probably playing, which I never doubted. Just it's only concussion. Tampa 3 and 2.5. You can get 2.5 with Tampa, and you get 3.5 in a teaser. Over under 48. So it's funny how it's 47.5, 47.5, 48. How are they getting all these over-unders the same line? Very suspicious. And the last one is KC 1.5s and 2s, 54.5. 54s. All right, so let's break that down. So what do we look for in a playoff? This second, I'm making a bet. So you ask what my bet is. All right, I'm the professor. No secrets here. I'm here to educate. So seeing that Tampa's only 2.5, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay and tease it to 3.5, which is huge, because they're going to win the game outright. And then it's just a matter of, do I want KC with it, Cincinnati, or the Green Bay Frisco over? So I've already played the Green Bay over with Cincinnati. No, I played them with Tampa, I guess. So I've already Green Bay over Tampa and Cincy KC. So I'm going to play T-Bay with KC. Now, since KC is the last game, this sets up a wonderful trap. Actually, it sets it up the other way. If I wanted to trap it, I would take Buffalo and 7.5 and then go with KC minus 1.5 as the trap. That's what I would do. Hey, Nick. You're having a good weekend. Thank you. Play Tampa Bay, KC, Frisco in addition to your plays. Play Tampa and 7.5. So you're playing 10-point teasers. Good morning, Alex. Kansas City plus 8.5. Yeah. And Frisco and 15. See, I would have played the Frisco game over, I think. I don't know. I don't like Garoppolo, although they're going to run the ball down Green Bay's throat, but Green Bay's got Rodgers, so it should be a good one. So anyway, so let's walk through the game. So the first game, Tennessee's laying 3.5 or 4, 47, 47.5. You've got two B teams, so they're pretty good, but not great, but good. Defenses, since he's a 22, Tennessee's a 21. So they're pretty good defenses, but not like a Georgia, not like a Clemson, which is what we're looking for if we're going to play games under. So let's forget the line. What's the score? And try to pick the score of the game. I think it'll be a close game, maybe 24-20. Can Cincy win? Absolutely. I don't like Tennessee didn't play Henry in the last game, so now he hasn't played. Then you get a bye. He hasn't played in like at least 2 months, if not 3 months. I think it was maybe early November. So you're looking all November, December, January. You think he's ready to go a whole game? He's got the stamina? No, there's football shape and there's run around a track, and they're totally different. So I think I know Henry plays. How long does he go? And how, there's a big difference. You got Joe Burrow, way better than Tannehill. The defenses are pretty much even. Tennessee had some bad weeks and then played well. However, the last week against Houston, they looked like crap. Cincinnati's been pounding teams, and it was a good win over Oakland last week. I think the game's dead even. I like the points all day. Cincinnati in 10. Thank you. I also Over 41 seems appealing as 20, since he'll score in the 20, 24, 20s, 44. That's not asking for a lot. That's where Henry will score your touchdowns, even though he can't play a lot. He'll get in the goal line, and good luck tackling him. So I think this game should get into the 20s, and it should definitely be a close one. Nick also played Tennessee. They have least points scored this weekend at 650. Tannehill, and we'll try to run Henry a lot. I don't know how much they'll run Henry because, again, he's not in shape. You can't just sit for 2.5 months. Running track does not help football shape, getting hit and getting up. Alex, I actually disagree with you on Tampa Bay. I think the Rams defense will be able to pressure Brady without blitzing him. I also think of the addition of Cam Akers to the Rams is big. I'm on the Rams money line. Good luck, Alex. Appreciate your thoughts. I don't agree that they're going to bother Brady. Let's go to the Seattle, New England Super Bowl, and you had that Seattle defense, and it didn't bother Brady. He got rid of the ball so quickly. So you're thinking they're playing in the Rams in week 4, not this game's at Tampa. And guess who the Rams quarterback is? That's right, Stafford, who's won 0 games on the road against good teams. So you're not going to – if you're counting on Stafford to win the game for you, don't, because he won't. But I'll take Tampa in the money line, all day. Thank you. Why wouldn't you take the 8.5 with the Rams? You'd have a better chance at cashing. They could keep the game close. They can't win it. So that's okay. That's what we're here for. Akers will open it up for Stafford. But they're not playing Arizona. They're playing Tampa. And Tampa, look what they did to Philly. They have strong tackling secondary, and their linebackers are strong and Sue and Jason Pierre-Paul. Tampa's got a great defense and knows how to stop running backs. So you're looking at last week's game. They're not on artificial turf. They're not in L.A. They're in the heat in Tampa. I assume it'll be warm. I will take a teaser with the Rams, but money line too. That's fine. I mean, I don't really get into the money line stuff because the odds, the teaser odds are so much better getting 8.5 or getting the game under 2. Like I tease Kansas City plus 4.5 as opposed to a money line because the odds of me winning with Kansas City at home plus 4.5 against Josh Allen are far superior. But Buffalo could get lucky to win, but they're not going to win by 4.5. See, good lesson learned here with Alex. He's looking at last week's games. I believe, Alex, just my thought. You tell me I'm wrong. And so you see the Rams beating Arizona because Kyler Murray couldn't hit the barn. But they're not at home against Arizona. This is the key. They're at Tampa, and Brady at home does not lose, especially a playoff game. The Saints shut out Brady in Tampa, so it can be done, except for in the playoff game where he went to New Orleans and pounded them, just like he pounded Green Bay. The bigger the game, the bigger Brady plays. That's what lessons are learned. That's why he wins all the Super Bowls. He's not afraid. Stafford's afraid to win. He doesn't know how to win big games, especially on the road. Now, in Detroit, you can blame the offensive line, the coach, the defense. They didn't have Barry Sanders. The bottom line is, as soon as they got into a big game, like the Dallas playoff game, which I'm sure you'll remember, what does he do? He's about to bring him back, and then they blitz him, and he gets sacked, and he fumbles, and he loses the game. He's not a winner. So you're betting on him to win and beat Tom Brady at Tampa is not going to happen. Will be a gun game to watch, that's for sure. Fun game. Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. Tampa Bay might just pound them like they did Philly. I think the fun game is KC Buffalo, and I think a real good game is Green Bay Frisco. I think that game, I think Frisco can run it down their throats, but I think Rodgers can win. That's why that bet is the over. That's the over of the weekend. I do like Cincy, Tennessee over a little bit. But I think the over of the weekend's Frisco Green Bay. I think Frisco, I think Cincy, absolutely. I think they're the better team there, especially with Burrow and Chase. I think they're at LSU. But that's what you look at. So let's go down the game. So Cincy, Tennessee, again, take the dog. I see a 24-20 type of game. Cincinnati absolutely could win. Henry's been out too long, big factor, because he's not in shape, and he'll be okay for a little bit, but not in the fourth quarter after he's carried for 3 quarters if he plays that long. Again, they should have played him at least a half in that last game to get him football shape. And then you have the bye. Now he's ready. I heard he practiced, but they didn't show up against Houston. So they're going to show up now? I don't think so. Game 2, Frisco, Green Bay. Green Bay's dropped from 6.5 to 5.5, over under 47.5. Let's look at this game. Okay, pick the Green Bay Frisco. I think it's like a 30-27 game. You can't trust Garoppolo, and you can't trust what's his name, the head coach. What's his name? I can see the dad. Anyway, you can't trust the head coach because he doesn't know how to win a game. Atlanta has New England in the Super Bowl. All they got to do is just take a knee 3 times and kick a field goal, and the game's over. What does the idiot do? He starts throwing passes, getting holding penalties, because of course they're going to call penalties against Tom Brady to give him a chance to win the game. We talk about gold being fixed. That game was totally fixed. And once they got close at the end, believe me, Atlanta wasn't going to kick a field goal if they kept throwing. They were going to find 18 holding penalties so Brady could bring them back and tie the score, or at least get it down where he's going to try for 2 for the tie. That was obvious, a fixed ending, not necessarily the game. Shanahan. But what the hell, Shanahan? You've got to run the clock and have smart running plays and maybe run reverses, or just throw the ball to Julio Jones on a quick out way up. He's taller than everybody, and he's going to catch it. It's not going to be intercepted. Then what does the idiot do last week? They've got Dallas by 14, 16 points. He's got Garoppolo throwing with like 5 minutes left in the game. What are you doing? Just run the clock. You've got a 14, 16 point lead, whatever it was. Just run the ball. Run a reverse, do something. You got Deebo Samuel back there, nobody can tackle. You got Mitchell. And I don't know why everybody's so surprised about Mitchell. Guy went to Louisiana Lafayette, and we know Louisiana Lafayette's a powerhouse. Levi Lewis, the quarterback, if he gets drafted and they go, well, who's this guy? Then they're all a bunch of freaking idiots, because we know Levi Lewis because I talk about him, and they win the Sun Belt, and he's a damn good quarterback, and he won the bowl game for us. Why are you surprised? Like, freaking watch. Anyway, so Frisco, I think, can run the ball with Samuel and Mitchell down Green Bay's throat like they did in the playoff game. The last 2 times they played, Frisco had 1,000 yards rushing, and they beat Green Bay twice. Will that happen today? It could. I don't know if Shanahan was the coach at the time, but if he was, that will work on Green Bay, and keeping the ball away from Rodgers will definitely work against Green Bay. I still think there'll be points because I think Frisco can score a lot, even though they're running. When they run Samuel and Mitchell, they get good chunks of yards. So they're like 6 plays to go 80 yards. So it's not like, it's not like the Navy with the 12 play, 8-minute drive. It's more, they'll do it in 4 or 5 minutes. So Green Bay will have their chances. But I think Green Bay wins, but the Niners have been playing well. They beat the Rams and Stafford and Akers and all those guys. They beat Dallas now, who I'm not a big Prescott fan, but I am a big Rodgers fan. It'll be a lot to beat Rodgers, but he's beatable. He's been playing well, but they barely beat Frisco the first game. How good is their defense, and how good is their run defense? And they're going to need it today. That's why I think it's the only play you can make is over. I would bet Bosa's back. He's got a concussion. Nobody cares. He'll be playing. These concussions are just headaches that I would be shocked if Bosa didn't play today. Okay. So I think the only way to play the game is go over 47.5 to 41. This is, like I said, a 30 to 27 game. This is a mid-50s game. We get it for 41.5 in the teaser. Absolutely. Now, how do you do a money line on an over-under, Alex? I'd be curious on that one. But what do you just go over one or something? Money line? It's crazy. Then we get to the Rams in Tampa Bay, which me and Alex have already had some discussion on. So let's break the game down. All right, well, quickly, let me break Green Bay Frisco a little bit further. So Green Bay's the A team, Frisco's a B team. Garoppolo, Rodgers is much better than Garoppolo. Their defense, they're both 22s, is equal. Small trend on Green Bay is a good home favorite. Frisco's not a great road dog. And again, the defenses are both 22, so they're average. The only defense worth anything is Buffalo as a 17, but again, they play the Jets, Miami, New England, so they don't really play good offensive teams. So when I look at that, there's the small trend. If you wanted to pick the game, I would take Green Bay. And since you could tease it to a half, you don't need the money line. So that's why I look at Green Bay, maybe small, but the bet should be the over. Rams at Tampa, okay. Brady against Stafford, not even close. Defense, Tampa Bay's at 21. The Rams are at 22. Stafford wants to throw too much. Therefore, he doesn't rest his defense. Therefore, he doesn't score in the red zone. Tampa Bay, most of their players are back. Very hard to run on them. I don't see Cam Akers. I don't know. Did he play last week? I don't know. The one thing I know you got is Stafford playing, and that gives me about 7 points to Tampa. Look at Philadelphia could not run on Tampa. There's no way the Rams are running. And I don't know. Cam Akers is not Gale Sayers or Barry Sanders, so I don't see the big deal with Cam Akers. Has he even played this year? Not sure. Okay, real quick, Nick. Really think KC will cover teaser against Bills. At the end of the day, Mahomes will get the calls, and the league will want to move it, make it closer. Well, and the bottom line is KC's going to blitz Allen, and Allen cannot handle the blitz. You can't blitz Mahomes. Let me get back to this. So LA, Tampa. So again, I see Tampa winning. I see the spread at 2.5. Gets me really excited for Tampa plus 3.5. Now they can lose by a field goal and still win at home. Tom Brady in a playoff game. Tom Brady doesn't get killed in a playoff game. You don't win 6-7 Super Bowls. And his losses were to the Giants on miracles, or the loss he had to Peyton Manning because he got blitzed and sacked 15 times is not going to happen in this game. Tampa Bay's got too good of an offensive line. He's going to get rid of the ball quickly. He's still got good running backs if he needs them, much better than he had at New England. He's got much better receivers than he's got at New England, a much better offensive line than he had at New England. He's not going to get trapped. And who the hell are the Rams going to – they don't have that sacker. They got Aaron Donald, of course. They got the guy from Denver, but he's injured. But even if he plays, I don't see that. I don't see where the Rams all of a sudden have this blitz. Again, you're looking at the Arizona game with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, all right, here's the difference between Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, and the rest of the league. Those three, Tom Brady gets up to the line. He looks at the defense. He says, I'm throwing it there. They haven't hiked the ball yet. He already knows where he's going. Gronk knows he's getting the ball. Evans knows he's getting the ball. Fontenot knows he's going to run over there and get the ball. They can see he knows who's blitzing. He's got his receiver there. So all this is done before the ball snapped. Jalen Hurts does not know how to do that. So when they pressure Jalen Hurts, he's sitting there going, who's open? Wait, this guy's not – oh, wait, he's not open. I'm reading – he doesn't even know where he's going with the ball until the guy's open, right? The guy has to be open. What is that? That was in the what game was that? I think – was it – who was it last week? I think it was New England Buffalo, where early in the game it's 7-0 Buffalo, and Mac Jones has a receiver wide open, but he doesn't throw it. He throws it late, and then the safety intercepted in the end zone. He should have thrown the ball 3 seconds earlier. Once he saw the receiver even is when you throw it, not, oh, now he's open. Now I'm going to lob it in. And then you wonder why the safety picks it. This is why we bet those guys. This is why they win. They know where they're throwing the ball before it's there. So the defense can't really make that. And it's not the same defense. You can't look at what the Rams did at home on turf to Kyler Murray, who doesn't know what he's doing, and a coach who's terrible at Texas Tech is not all of a sudden a good coach. Arizona had a good team for 4 or 5 weeks playing weak teams. Then all of a sudden, okay, they beat the Rams once. Okay, fine. And that's it. And in the last 5, 6 weeks, except for the win at Dallas, who we see is not a very good team. And if you have a decent defense, Denver beat freaking Dallas. So Arizona's not very good. Murray's not very good. He looks good against certain teams, and that's the point of the whole class. Against certain matchups, you look good. Rams will not bother Brady. Aaron Donald, they'll block him. Believe me, the kid with the hurt ankle had a week. It's probably still hurt. Maybe they keep him away from Darnold. Maybe they can't. Maybe Donald will line up against him, so that he won't play. But the backup, now the guy's injured, and how badly injured is he? And I'm sure they shoot him up, so I'm sure he'll play. But Brady can get rid of the ball in 2 seconds. He already knows where he's going before the ball's hiked, so he gets rid of the ball. You get 3.5 in Tom Brady, who knows how to win. That's all he does is win, and they are at home on a grass field, not on the artificial turf in a dome. Dome teams generally do not do well on the road, especially in the playoffs, a.k.a. New Orleans, who never did anything except for the one time they went to the Super Bowl. They were at home when they beat Brett Favre and the Vikings, and then they won the Super Bowl. I think I don't know if that was on a dome or not, but dome teams don't normally do well. So I'm sitting there looking at that stat, and then it's just Stafford. He hasn't won a big game on the road in his career. Against 500 teams, he was like 0-35 at Detroit on the road. Okay, so he'd win at home a little bit, but he's not good against good defenses, and he's going to find a great defense. And so let's turn the tables. When Tampa blitzes Stafford, he gets happy feet. He throws interceptions and he takes sacks. He's not very good. So do you think that Cam Akers is going to be the difference in this game and run for 300 yards and 6 touchdowns? No, you're not running on Tampa. That's the first thing. And then they put pressure on with their secondary. So their secondary tackles well and gets to the quarterback. So that's the key to the game, is Tom Brady getting rid of the ball and Stafford not knowing what to do. Stafford doesn't get to the line and go, oh, that's where I'm throwing it. So there's a big difference in quarterback. The defenses, Tampa's a little bit better. Tampa's an A team. The Rams are a B team. Remember, the Rams lost to the 49ers when they needed to win the title. There's a pretty big edge for Tampa as a home favorite. The Rams are not much as a road dog. So all that, I like Tampa in the 3.5. I'm not going to mess with the over-under here because I like Tampa in 3.5, period. Again, a score, maybe like 24-10, 27-10 Tampa. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. The Rams won't do much. Tampa just dominates. Maybe LA gets a late touch, maybe 28-17 Tampa. Somewhere in that neighborhood. They'll be in the mid-20s. Rams maybe get to 17. And the last game, Buffalo KC, as Nick's alluding to, and we'll talk about Buffalo and KC are both A teams, but they're quite different as A teams. Buffalo, again, as I said, they beat the Jets and Miami for 4 wins. New England, they won and lost 5-1. They lost to fucking Jacksonville. Okay, a team that loses to Jacksonville, I can't take serious. This game's at KC. Basically it's a championship game to get to the Super Bowl. Basically, the winner goes to the Super Bowl. Over under 54.5. Now, I would have liked that over, but you're giving me KC minus 1.5. Why is that spread like that? The reason the spread's like that is because everybody's going, hey, Buffalo beat New England 47-17 at home. So therefore, it doesn't matter that they're not at home. It doesn't matter they're playing Kansas City. That doesn't matter. They look what they did to New England. Well, first of all, you're not playing New England's quarterback. See, here's the key to the game, right? Stafford's not playing Murray, right? Murray's not the quarterback this week, right? That's one thing. They're getting Brady. The other thing is Buffalo is not getting a weak Mac Jones who thinks he's at Alabama and hoping he's going to play Kentucky this week. So Mac Jones sucked. Their play calling sucked. They had no offense to counter Buffalo with a long drive. They should have run the ball more than throwing the interceptions. But you're getting Mahomes, and you're getting him at home. You got Hill playing. You got Kelsey playing. You got Chocolatey Clear playing. You got everybody playing in this game. You got the defensive coordinator who knows if I blitz Josh Allen, he's terrible. Because what does he do? He ain't going to be able to run. He's not going to go back, and they're going to rush three guys, and there's going to be wide open fields for him to run. If you blitz five and you come in on him, and you have a safety spy maybe or something, I don't know. You don't even need that. Just rush the spy, and he can't go. It's the Earl Campbell theory. If you catch Earl behind the line, he's not going anywhere. If you let him start running, good luck, you'll never tackle him. Well, that's what Josh Allen did last week. Belichick did not, and therefore his ends were crashing down. Why? So then he just go around the end. There's nothing there. He's running for 20, 30 yards. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen such bad coaching in my life with what Belichick did last week. Knowing Josh Allen can't handle the blitz. It's like what Miami did to Baltimore. They just take Lamar Jackson, and he has no idea what he's doing out there. He can't come to the line and read the defense and go, I'm going to. He doesn't know what he's doing. That's what most of these. Hurts doesn't know what he's doing. Garoppolo doesn't know what he's doing. None of them know. This is the difference. Tom Brady goes to the line. Mahomes goes to the line and goes, Kelsey, I'm throwing to Kelsey this time based on this defense that they are running. They will eat up Buffalo. Buffalo is not that. Again, they lost to Jacksonville. That's all I can say. I mean, that takes, that's like Alabama losing to Louisiana Monroe, not Louisiana Lafayette, Louisiana Monroe. And then you say, I'm going to bet they're going to beat Georgia. No, they lost to Louisiana Monroe. Buffalo lost to a college team in Jacksonville. They had no offense. Why? Because Jacksonville blitzed them. That's what KC, they know to blitz them, and that's going to be the difference, and that's why KC's going to win, and you get 4.5, and that's why I'm not touching the over in the game, because Buffalo's not scoring a lot. My score, 31-17, let's say, Kansas City. Again, it won't be that close. I love getting 4.5 with KC at home. Mahomes doesn't go to 2 Super Bowls in a row without knowing what he's doing. He's the winner. Josh Allen is not the winner. So when we look at the quarterbacks, you've got to remember the Rams are not playing Murray again. Then let's look at the last thing on this Tampa-LA game that Alex is forgetting. Both of the safeties on the Rams are out. They are playing this whoever guy from Utah, Weddle, who was good at Utah 20 years ago. He's their safety. You don't think Tom Brady's going to pick them apart? So you think Kyler Murray didn't know what to do because that's why they blitzed him. They're going to blitz Brady, and they're going to just go ahead, and he's not going to pick on the safety who's 55 years old and their starting safeties are out. You don't think Brady knows that? It's going to take that. So you're looking at Cam Akers, Alex, but you're not looking at – they don't have a safety. And the safety, Weddle, played at Utah in the 90s. So that's a huge matchup for Brady. Anyway, this is why we bet the best players. This is why they win. This is why Namath beat the Colts. Namath beat the Colts because the Colts – blitz Namath, but Namath has a quick release. And the other thing was the reason Baltimore lost Super Bowl III is they didn't run the ball in the red zone. They passed it. and Morrill threw 5 interceptions because he's a loser, right? Basically, Morrill's a loser. Unitas was the winner. Unitas should have started the game. Shula said, well, yeah, he was ready to go, but I wanted to go with Morrill. This is where they're not all equal. You can't. Brady is much better than Stafford. Mahomes is much better than Allen. Rodgers is much better than Garoppolo, and Burrow is much better than Tannehill. So if you just bet the quarterbacks, we assume the defenses are all there, or they wouldn't have gotten this far. Like Oakland had the worst defense at 26, and they lost. They should have lost a lot more, but there was so many field goals in the game; it was unbelievable. So if we look at, okay, so what was the upset last week? Well, it was Frisco against Dallas. Frisco is able to run the ball in lieu of having Garoppolo. And KC kills Pitt. The Rams kill Arizona. Okay, so the only upset I was calling for was Arizona and Frisco. I got the Frisco. And Arizona, Murray looked really bad, but I bet it because of the safeties being out. And Arizona was a really strong road dog. So this week, the strongest road dog this week, now if we look at teaser trends, Cincinnati is a strong road dog. Green Bay is a very strong home favorite. Tampa's a very strong home favorite. And KC's kind of and Buffalo's as a road dog. So there's really no trend there. Again, the line, okay, my line, Tennessee laying 3, they're laying 4. Green Bay -7, they're 5.5. KC -3, they're 1.5. And Tampa Bay -7 is only 2.5. So it's normally the home team normally wins this week. Next week, the best quarterback normally wins. That's why Brady, what did he do last year? Went into Green Bay this week and beat them. And then he had New Orleans, or maybe he had New Orleans first and then Green Bay. But he won both, like this game and that. So the better quarterback wins, and then the better defense. So you're betting the quarterback because he's got to move the team. This is why I can't take Frisco today, because I can't trust Garoppolo. I love Samuel and Mitchell as running backs, and I think they're going to score a lot, but I don't think they can beat Rodgers with Garoppolo and Shanahan. I just don't see how they can do it, and they don't have the defense. Rodgers will score early and often. Frisco will score. They'll be able to run the ball, and that's what I see. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm betting Brady. I'm betting Mahomes. I'm betting Rodgers, and I'm betting Burrow. Those are my plays. Now, does Burrow situation better than betting Henry? Well, Henry's not full strength, and he hasn't played in 2-3 months, so he's not in football shape. He might be able to run in the track, but he's a big guy. He's got to get hit, so he's got to be in football hit shape and get up and go and do it again. And at this point, I think that's a close game. I'll take Burrow in 10, all day long. And so that's where I'm at. I think Green Bay could be – that's probably the game of the week. Frisco probably gives them a close game. Excuse me. So Frisco can probably give them a game, but Garoppolo can't handle Rodgers. Rodgers will figure out the night. They don't have that defense that they had before. So Green Bay, I'm picturing Green Bay, Tampa Bay next week for it all. And then it could be Cincinnati, KC, or it could be Tennessee, KC. But I don't see Buffalo going into KC with Spagnuolo. Mahomes is healthy. Everybody's healthy this time, not injured. Their offensive, like last year, the offensive line, oh my God, Tampa killed it, but Buffalo didn't kill it. It was the same offensive line in the championship game as it was in the Super Bowl, but yet Tampa Bay ran out of all of a sudden that was the excuse. Oh, it's toe in the offensive line. But when they played Buffalo, the toe was still bothering them, but it wasn't an issue. And the offensive line was still terrible, but wasn't an issue. So, again, Buffalo at home against the Jets. Yeah. Buffalo against Miami. At Jacksonville, no. So ain't winning at Kansas City. So this is where you bet the best player, and that's what you look for. That's why I look at the stats. That's why I look at the trends. So again, the best trends this week are Cincinnati and Green Bay. Tampa Bay is a good home favorite. Cincinnati's a good road dog this year. Once they added Chase, they're a whole different team. So it's hard to go back 5 years with Cincinnati. Here's where the trends really have a problem. I can only trend the last 2 years. I have Burrow last year, and I got Chase and Burrow this year. When I look at Chase and Burrow this year, they're almost 90% against the number. And they go into Baltimore. When have they gone into Baltimore and killed them, and gone into Pitt and killed them? And when has Cincinnati done that? I mean, it's been a long time. So you got to watch those games. What they did to Baltimore. Baltimore's got a better defense, I think, than Tennessee. Tennessee's been coming on, but again, Tannehill, no, thank you. So that's how I see it. Comments, questions, money lines, whatever you guys do. Watch for the injuries. Watch for the injuries late. Let's go through the injuries real quick. So I'm not really seeing the lines. Yeah, the lines are like going up a half and going down a half. They're having fun moving the lines from 3.5 to 4 back to 3.5. Buffalo, no big injuries. Nothing worthwhile that I even know half these guys' names. Cincinnati. So their linebacker, 2 linebackers are out that got hurt last week, which is trouble for them. A DB's playing, the defensive end's playing, the other defensive end's playing. So a lot of the guys that got hurt last week are playing, except for they lost 2 linebackers. But I don't know that matters. As long as Burrow and Chase are playing, which they are. Green Bay, a lot of probables now. Valdez Scantling's doubtful, but who cares? Bakhtiari's always hurt. Some backup defense are questionable. Jones is probable. Rodgers supposed to be 100%. So again, nothing really major with Green Bay. Kansas City, tackle probable, linebacker probable. Defensive back probable, Hill probable, Eclair probable. Couple more questionables. Questionables are always playing. The only guy that's not playing is like Forston, who I never heard of, is on the injured reserve with an Achilles. Okay, he's out. The outs are out. Everybody else, the questionables will play. So let's see. The Rams, Boog Powell, their wide receivers, probable. Boog Howell, the running back's doubtful. Never heard of these guys. So their safety's out, Rapp. Their linebackers out, Jones. Henderson, the running back's out. Whitworth, their O-lineman's out. He's a good player. Stafford, probable with a toe. Yeah, they're making excuses already. Cornerbacks, question. The safety, Fuller's out. So again, their starting safeties are out. Woods is out. So I don't. Cam Akers can play. They can get Gale Sayers to play in this game. It ain't gonna matter. Let's see. Frisco, Nick Bosa. Yeah, he's probable. That's probably why the line went from 6 to 5.5 with the concussion. Doesn't matter. A lot of probables on Frisco. So I don't know why Garoppolo probable with the shoulder. Didn't know he had a bad shoulder. The linebackers, Mitchell's probable, the running back. That's good news. Again, it's a good over. Sanu, a lot of injuries on Frisco, even though they're probable. Tampa, Murphy Burton. The good quarterback Bunting is playing. That's good. Ronald Jones is out. Who cares? Jensen, the center, the key. He's all pro. He's probable. Again, with the ankle. Fournette, probable. Edwards, probable. The safety. Barrett, the good linebackers, probable. Wells, the tackle, is questionable. I mean, she'll play. David and Jake and Pierre-Paul are both questionable, but they'll be playing. What is Pierre? Pierre-Paul's questionable with a personal. What is that? What is he a personal meeting? What the hell does that mean? Bernard's playing, the running back. Worf's the tackle's questionable with the ankle, so they'll use the backup there. Richard Sermon, he played for 5 minutes. And Godwin, we know, is out with the IR, so that's bad. And then Tennessee, you got Henry, probable. Yeah, well, that's no surprise. So all they're questionable is the first 6 guys are now probable. A couple of linebackers and cornerbacks I never heard of. The key is Julio Jones, but he's not on here. His hamstring got better when they were in the playoffs all of a sudden. He sits out all the games with the hamstring, and now it's a playoff game or a Monday night game or a big game, and all of a sudden he's healthy. Evans, the running back's out. A lot of guys injured on Tennessee. A lot of guys injured out. And that's it. So we're not seeing a whole lot of injuries that would make a difference. Boza is playing. He's key. Brady's fine. Gronk's fine. Fournette's playing. Bunting, the good cornerback who gets an interception every game, is playing. Green Bay has their guys. Bosa's playing. Burrow's healthy. Don't see a lot there. Buffalo, I don't know their players, if it's a good guy. It's funny, I was watching the game, and Chris Collinsworth, I think it was the last week of the year, and this guy, Kelsey's brother, is a center on Philadelphia. Never heard of the guy. And he's like played in 150 games in a row. So he goes out, takes the snap, and sits out. Dude, that's not playing in a game. That doesn't count. You've got to play the game to count the game. And he does that crap. And then the next thing you know, they're saying, oh, he's a Hall of Famer. And I'm like, never heard of the guy. Now, when I was younger, I heard of Anthony Munoz and Mike Webster, the Steelers. And then, the lineman, the Pace from Ohio State on St. Louis. I heard of the lineman. This guy I never heard of. I mean, all right, Kelsey I've heard of on the Chiefs, but I've never heard of this guy. So, again, the key to this weekend is they're not at home. They're not playing. Okay, Nick, good luck to you. I hope you win. They got, they're playing different players. You've got to understand it's all matchups. So are you going to stop Mahomes, Buffalo? No way. You're going to stop Brady, Rams? No way. You're going to stop Rodgers, the Niners? The only way you can stop them is to run the ball down their throat and keep the ball away, which they will do to a point, but it should be a high scoring. And then is Tennessee going to stop Burrow? No way. Now, Tennessee had to bye, and they're not very good anyway. It's not like Tennessee's this superstar team that it's not like they're the superstar team that was 15-2 and dominated everybody. Tennessee snuck into the playoffs because everybody else was losing. Kansas City had a bad start. Buffalo lost to Jacksonville, so there wasn't really a super team. So that's why I don't. Tennessee, Cincinnati, to me, I think Cincinnati is the better team, to tell you the truth, with Burrow and Chase. And the same thing, I think Green Bay, they were playing very good. They were the 1 seed. They were a lot better than the Niners. The Niners are playing well, and that's why I think it'll go over. KC, Buffalo, KC's playing well. They're at home. They've got better players. As far as I'm concerned, Mahomes is much better than Josh Allen. Buffalo doesn't have a running attack. Believe me, KC's not going to sit back and watch Josh Allen run. Okay, they're going to take that away. And then KC's got the defense with Honey Badger and that to stop Buffalo's receivers. So they'll make them one-dimensional, and then they're in trouble. And then the same thing with LA Tampa Bay. Good luck. You're not going to stop Brady. Nobody stops Brady. I mean, Brady figures it out. He'll run the short passes, and they'll run the ball, and they'll score touchdowns when he's in the red zone because he's got a guy named Gronk. He's got a guy named Evans who's a real tall receiver. So the Rams are not at home playing Arizona. We saw them 2 weeks ago at home playing the Niners in a must-win game, and they lost as Arizona lost their must-win game. So we've seen that. But when teams that need must-win games lose, what are you betting on? So they played Arizona, the other choke team, and they beat the other choke team. And now we're all excited about the Rams. You got to be kidding me. They don't have a chance in this game, especially getting 2.5. You get 3.5 in Tampa. Yeah, Tampa and 3.5 at home in a playoff game with Brady's healthy. You got to be kidding me. That's definitely my best game on the board. Absolutely. So anyway, I think that's it. I think that's what you look for. You're looking for the superstar. That's why they win the championships. That's why Montana won. That's why Brady won. The Giants won with Lawrence Taylor. The Bears won when they had Jim McMahon. When they didn't have him, they never won the Super Bowl. So even though they had the great defenses, when they had McMahon, they won. And you just go, the only great quarterback not to win is Marino because he didn't run the ball. It was all passing, and you didn't rest your defense, and Dan Fouts. But normally, when you have a good defense, and that's when Brady doesn't win the Super Bowl. He doesn't have a good defense. At New England, that's why you'd see him for a few years not in the Super Bowl. But once they had a good defense, then Brady would make up the difference. So anyway, so watch your line. These aren't, these are good plays. This isn't a Georgia lock over Alabama or over Michigan or anything like that. These are strong plays. Next week, my thinking is it'll be Cincy at Kansas City and Tampa Bay at Green Bay. And that's where I love, you give me Tampa as the dog to Green Bay, that's a lock. So that'll be the lock. As long as Green Bay is favored by 3, we'll take Tampa at 9. And then Cincy KC will go over, and that'll be next week's lock. And then, so the Super Bowl is probably it could be T-Bay Kansas City, it could be T-Bay Cincinnati would be my guess. But maybe Green Bay sneaks in. But I think what'll happen is Brady wins this year and goes for a three-peat because nobody's done it except for Lombardi in the 60s, but you only had the Super Bowl the last 2 years. So nobody's won 3 straight Super Bowls. So Brady will want to do that. Then he retires. He couldn't do it this year to get to 2. The Dolphins went to 3 Super Bowls in the 70s, but they lost. They got killed by Dallas, and then they beat a real strong Washington team, and then the Vikings that every team beat in the Super Bowl. So those 2 games really don't count. They were very weak teams at Miami, and then they played Oakland in 74, and they lost. So when they played a good team, they lost Miami. And they should have lost to the 72 Steelers, but they had just beaten the Raiders on the miracle catch, the Immaculate Reception. So they were flat that game. So Miami got lucky to play Pitt that week and not the week before. Anyway, that's what you got to look. So, again, the flat team this week could be Buffalo. It was an emotional game with New England, and they won it. They will be flat today, I would think. Frisco, I don't think is flat. Green Bay didn't play. Tennessee didn't play. Cincinnati beating Oakland's nothing. Tampa Bay beating Philly's nothing. And the Rams probably won an emotional game against Arizona at home. Stafford finally won a playoff game. And now they'll be flat today. So that's or tomorrow. So that's my look at the 4. Turn the conversation quickly to the economy. I'll put on my economics hat. Just be careful. The market, as you can see, is dropping 400 or 500 points a day. Bitcoin's dropping 4,000 points from 60 to 38. If you're in Bitcoin, sell it, get out, take your profit, say thank you very much. I made money. get out of U.S. currency. You got to go buy gold and silver because U.S. currency is going to not have much value. Your house is going to lose value because the housing market, if they do raise rates, it's going to tumble. All these people in China who invested heavily in the U.S. and the U.S. invested, and it's all going down because of the housing crisis with Evergrande and the rest of the housing. They're going to need money. So what are they going to do? They're going to sell their stocks. That's why the market's going to drop. Just look out, everybody. I'm afraid for everybody. Buy as much gold and silver as you can. You cannot hold U.S. dollars. If you have 50,000 U.S. dollars, it's going to be worth 50 cents soon. Please get out of it and protect yourself. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. I'm not in it. I don't make a dime. I'm not selling it. I got gold. I'm keeping. I'm not selling. I'm buying more, but it is. I don't get anything out of it. I just I want to help you, make you money, but I want to protect you if I can. I just want to share my knowledge and not sit back and go, I know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to tell anybody. I hate people like that. So just be careful, everybody. Get your stuff. All right, everybody. Teaser King to go. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I've been doing this since I've been like 5 years old. I started picking games. So I try to understand why I win and why I lose. And I try to share that now with, let's take Brady and Rodgers. That's why we win. If they lose, they lose. But your odds on them winning the odds on betting on Brady and him winning a playoff game are very, very high. Much higher than Stafford, much higher than Josh Allen. So that's what I'm trying to do is share that with you. I can stay a few more minutes. Let me know if there's questions, comments, anything at all. It's funny. I'll watch all these little YouTube videos of these finance people talking about silver is going to go up. Silver, so if 50 people say the same thing, all 50 will try to take credit for, I told you silver was going to go up. Look, I told you. I mean, it's such a joke. And none of them have an idea that it's price fixed, or very few understand it's price fixed. That's why it's low, not because of the market and because of the currency. The other thing I want is for people to watch Adam Smith or Milton Friedman videos. They really explain it like I explained football, very what a free market is, what it means to be a capitalist, and free market allows us freedom to bet football because we work and you try to work in what your skill set is. I'm in finance, I'm in football, I play poker. I'm a numbers guy, so that's my skill set. So I'm able to make money with my skill set. That's really what they're talking about, division of labor or free markets and things like that. Anyway, so that's what's happening. I don't want to bore you with that stuff, but I just want to advise, go watch a Adam Smith video or a Milton Friedman video and educate yourself. And then you'll go, wow, I didn't know that was going on. What else can we talk about? So basically, you've got the games. First game's this 4:30 Eastern time, Cincy, Tennessee. Good game tonight, Frisco, Green Bay. I'll definitely watch that one. And I don't know, no more college to bet, and that's it. And I don't really get too much into basketball. It's all 3-point shooting, and I liked it when Magic and Bird and Kareem and Dr. J play and Isaiah. Now it's it's nothing. It's 3-point shots. I can't watch it. It's too. I see a team down 1 point with 3 seconds left, and the guy puts up a 3-point shot, and you're like, okay, your odds of making a 3-point shot are about 20-25%, especially in the clutch. It's like going for two. The odds on making a 2-point conversion when the score is 30-0 is probably very good. When the score is 30-29 and you need the 2-pointer to win, the odds of getting it are about 1%. Just ask Baltimore. You can't go for two to win the game. You're never going to get it because the defense is fixed on not letting you get the 2 yards. And how many times do we see a 4th and 1 play and they don't make it, or a 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and 2 and they don't make it because the defense gets fixed on it? So it's the same thing. So my point in basketball is drive the lane and get fouled or make an easy 2-point shot. You're only down 1 point. You'll win the game. Why would you take a 3-point shot? And it's the same thing here. Why would you go for 2 when you could just kick the extra point? And I really don't like that the extra point's at the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? Are they like on drugs? What is the advantage of that? They missed the concept of the extra point. It's a reward for scoring a touchdown. You get an extra point. So now if you score 6, that gives you 7. It's not supposed to be from the 30-yard line where it's hard. Well, we'll make them go for 2. That's not the point of the extra point. The extra point's a bonus for getting the touchdown. You got it. Now we'll give you an extra point, which is pretty much automatic. That's the design of it. Anyway, it just blows my mind. Anything else? Good luck, Alex, and good luck, Nick, and all my other friends and family and customers. My picks are posted. I added a late one as I did it right here, so everybody knows I added Tampa 3.5, Kansas City plus 4.5 was added as we did the show. I've already had my other 2 picks, no locks, strong plays, but it's the playoffs we're going to watch. But I did take Tampa at home, Kansas City at home, then the over in the Green Bay Niner game, and then Cincinnati. So I took the 2 home teams with the superstar quarterbacks, but I'm afraid of the Frisco run game to take Green Bay. But Green Bay, Frisco's playing very well, and they look very well in Dallas. But again, they're not playing an injured Zeke Elliott, an injured Prescott. You're not playing Prescott, you're playing Aaron Rodgers. And if Garoppolo is going to throw the ball away or throw interceptions, then that's what you're going to get. But that's the key. So you're watching the quarterbacks this week. We're betting on the superstars. That's why they're superstars. That's why they win championships. This is how they do it. They got to win these games to get to those games. And there's no way Stafford's winning. I don't feel bad for Alex, but you live and learn, Alex, I guess. I guess I'd like to know Alex's thought process on thinking the Rams. I guess Cam Akers is his reason. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because he's not going to be able to run on Tampa. You've got to look at the matchup. They're not going to be able to run. Stafford's going to throw 2-3 interceptions, and you're not going to get to Brady. So that's my thoughts. All right, everybody. Well, it was a pleasure with class today. Anything else? I'll hold on one more minute. And if you have any questions, you can go to the site, www.teaserking.com. You can get my email me. A lot of people do. They ask the questions. And usually I come here, like Nick asked me about buying gold. I did a how to buy a gold video. So if you have questions, what I'll try to do is incorporate them in the video so you can hear me. It's easier to talking than it is trying to write 5 or 6 sentences. And then you might have a question. Here you can just type the question in and go from there. So anyway, I guess that's about it. Good luck today. Enjoy the games. We'll start off with Cincinnati getting a W over Tennessee. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy. www.teaserking.com. Please ask questions. I might be on tomorrow morning with the Sunday thing. If there's something worth talking about, if there's injuries or all of a sudden Buffalo's a 3-point favorite, then, if that happens, then it's a lock on Kansas City, Tampa Bay. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you very much. I appreciate my students.